Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole bringing you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on what time you are watching this live. Hello, crew. Hope all is well. I told y'all that the reunion was going to be juicy. I personally think the reunion was better than the damn season, in my opinion. And while I didn't want a part three, I think they could have given us a longer reunion or maybe a part two. Cause I don't know, it seemed rushed. I don't know about y'all, but y'all let me know what you think if you felt like it was a rushed reunion. But with that being said, honey, the category was pink. Okay. Like down at the pink, the category was pink. And pink is one of my favorite colors, okay? Because, pink represents, on the positive side, it represents tranquility, love, passion, okay? But there's also negative traits with colors. And so the color pink, negative traits also can mean emotional, immature, unconfident. And that's what we saw this episode, this reunion, okay? The negative sides of pink. So let's start off with the looks. Okay. Y'all ready? So I guess we have to start off with Preston. My God. Damn. Preston looks like, I know everybody has seen The Wizard of Oz. He looks like the Tin Man in pink right now, in my opinion. I don't know who told him that outfit was it, but it's not. The fit, the look, even the hat, it's a hell no for me. Even the shoes are a hell no for me. Come on, Preston. Like, you got to do better. It just, no. If you want me to grade from an A to an F, baby, it's an F. It's an F. Preston, come on. You got to do better. You got to do better, my brother. Noelle, stunning, in my opinion, from her hair, the makeup to the outfits. Loved it. Thought it was absolutely gorgeous. A to an F, I would give her a solid A. I loved her look. Nick. Now, y'all know as much as I talk about him being Urkel, I would have to say out of the men, he was the best dressed, in my opinion. He dressed down. Like, if you're going to have to rock pink, that's the way you do it. So kudos to him, because I was like, okay, Mr. GQ. He was giving GQ vibes this reunion. Wasn't giving Urkel vibes. He was giving GQ vibes. So solid A. Summer, it's just... the dress isn't ugly, but I just think it's just, she looked cute, but still kind of average. I don't know if she was going with the Donna Summer look, try to play on words, because it kind of gives me like a vintage, maybe even like a late 70s feel. I don't know if she was going for that. She wasn't bad, but I give her, I don't know, a B. Jasmine, she just had a baby. It didn't look bad. She did kind of look stuffed though in her dress. I would give her a C plus. Bria, as much as I can't stand her attitude, baby, she dressed down. That hair, everything, okay? There was definitely some pieces in it, but you couldn't tell. It was flawless. Makeup, flawless. Outfit, thought it was cute. Shoes, thought it was cute. She dressed down. Solid A. Jordan, what in the hell do you have on? The top looked like, y'all remember the fruit roll-ups that we used to have as kids that you used to roll out or whatever the case may be and play with them? It looked like she got fruit roll-up or saran wrap as a top. Who told her she looked good in that? And then she has on a skirt that's kind of like a faux fur. I don't know what she had on. It wasn't given. And the thing about it is Jordan's body is sick. Her body is sick. So who in the hell told her that was appropriate? I don't know. And my whole thing is, Summer, you damn sure should have said something to Jordan with what she had on. She could barely turn her neck. Did y'all notice every time she would try to move, she could barely nod and turn her neck? I think it was because of that saran wrap thing she had on. She could barely get it together. Hey, Southern Belle. Hey, Shayla. She looked stuffed in that thing. Like she could barely breathe, barely talk, barely move. I'm going to have to give you a D. A D. Hell, maybe an F. Yeah, you may be in the F category because there's nothing that I like from head to toe. F, it is what it is. Shanice. The baby doll outfit, I think that outfit would look cute on someone, just not her. I don't think she has the body for it. I think you have to be a little bit more curvaceous for that. And I like her with her hair a little lighter. I just don't think it gives with her with the darker hair. I'm not gonna say a F. I would give her a D plus. She had clothes on, damn it. Look, she had on clothes, so we got to give her that. Amir, hell no. What in the freaking Old Navy Gap hell? No. From the top to the pants, it's a hell no F. Nothing I liked, and I didn't like what the hell Alex had on. Was anybody feeling Alex get up? I don't know. I don't know if he's trying to do that whole linen yoga pants with the suit. I don't know. It's not given for me either, but I wouldn't say a complete F because I like the pink Nikes he had on. I like the Nikes. So I would have to say maybe like a D, but I wasn't impressed with that. So honestly, Nick, you saved the guys. You really did. You saved the guys, and that's all I have to say about that. But some of the girls were slaying, so I have to give the girls their credit. Noelle, Bria, y'all did that. Kudos to y'all. Y'all did that. So with that, and hit the like button on the way in. So we got that out the way as far as the outfits are concerned. Baby, we weren't even 3 minutes in this reunion. And Andy's messy ass, of course, he greets everyone. We see that Jasmine and Bria are next to Andy. Does that mean something for this show? I don't know, but we always speculate the people who are closest to Andy are the ones who are like the stars of this season. Now, as far as Bria, we know she the star because she always was in some shit and always just draining as hell and annoying. Jasmine, I think she's just there because she actually is the creator of the show. And we definitely know that after this episode, because baby, she said some things that made me say, oh, you really trying to show your ass to let people know that you the head honcho up in this mofo. But we'll get to that later. So he starts off in the first 3 minutes when he's greeting everyone. He goes to Amir and says, has Natalie completely cut off your peen yet? Shots fired. I said, damn, Andy, you're not wasting no time. He said, yeah, has she cut off your peen? And he actually responds like he doesn't have a peen. His response pretty much was like, yes. She's cut it completely off. It's gone. It's completely gone. So I was just like, okay, this is getting off interesting. But one thing about Andy is that he's always shady, but it did seem like he had really fun this reunion. I think he was really enjoying himself. So maybe he does really like this show and likes the cast. So I'm going to assume there is going to be another season because he didn't seem turned off by it at all. Now, who's going to make it next season? I don't know. So we start off immediately with the Noelle, Summer, and Alex situation. That is the first topic. And baby, it got steamy. Okay, so at that point, Andy says to Alex, like, how did it end? Like, how the relationship between you and Summer end? Alex claimed he spoke to her about it. And before he could finish, she's like, that's a lie. That's a damn lie. She starts off immediately like, that is a damn lie. She said it just fizzled out. Now, in my opinion, just based on how we have seen Alex handle confrontation and things on the show, he gives vibes that he wouldn't be very clear and just say it's over. He kind of gives those passive aggressive vibes that he would just kind of stop calling, whatever the case may be, and it just kind of fizzles out. That's the vibes he gives me. But if y'all think differently, by all means, please let me know. But that's the vibes that he gives me. So as much as Summer is extra, I honestly believe that he is the type that he just won't call you anymore. And then next thing you know, it's just done. So then Summer is asked about the inside of me comment. And Summer claims that she told Noelle that she did have freaky tales with Alex. And Noelle is like, no ma'am, hell to the no, that's a lie. Calm your energy down. You're full of shit, ho. You're full of shit. And so I was like, ooh, dang, now she didn't call her a hoe, but y'all know I'm extra with it. So literally she is like, you ain't gonna be lying on me. You ain't gonna be lying on me. So at that point, Summer's like, he finished, let me finish. And I'm like, but Summer, you interrupted Alex. So all she doing is returning the favor. You know what I'm saying? But at that point, Summer said, I told her that we were, hanging out or whatever the case may be. But she did eventually find out that we were having freaky tales, or we had freaky tales, but she still continued to pursue him. And she said that a couple of times. She knew at a certain point, but she still continued to pursue him. So that meant you cared, Summer. You cared that she still pursued him. You did not want Noelle to deal with Alex, and you were just never upfront and honest about that. You should have said straight up, as from girl, even if y'all ain't really friends, because it's clear they weren't really friends. Female to female, girl code to girl code, I don't feel comfortable with you dealing with him if we are trying to develop a friendship or we are friends. I understand that I'm saying that it's over, but I feel uncomfortable you even trying to pursue that man. She wasn't upfront. At the same time, though, Noelle did know eventually, but she did, based on the cameras, what we saw, she still pursued him. And I said back then, that is a very dangerous game. I wouldn't do that if I was her, but she still did it. So at the end of the day, it still kind of makes you wonder, why would she? If at that point, and you guys weren't even beefing like that at that point. At that point, if you knew, yes, they had freaky tales, that should have been off limits. In my opinion, that's the way I get down. But to me, the way it was actually edited and the way that we saw it scene by scene, episode by episode, she still pursued Alex, even embarrassed herself and told Alex that she really, really wanted him. She really wanted him. So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, she still pursued, So for Noah, you talking about Noelle Teeth? He coming, first of all, hello, fam. You say Noelle's a sorry friend, and I saw her from her work. You talking about Noelle? Yeah, because my whole thing is this. Here's the things. I can see how someone can feel uncomfortable, especially Summer. Summer has admitted that she can be she doesn't know how to be vulnerable when it comes to her feelings. I think for a lot of people, being honest about their feelings, it makes them look weak. They don't like to feel vulnerable or whatever the case may be. Why do you keep saying Noah? Is it a typo? Backpedal talking about she was never pursuing Alex. Yeah, she said that. So, and that was the thing. What we saw is that she still pursued after she found out. And even if I have a friend, but this is how I get down, you guys. This is how I am. Even if I have a friend that tells me, yes, we did, but I'm over it. I'm over whatever the case may be. I'm still gonna be like, nah, I'm not touching that. Especially when it's so soon. This is not from something 10 years ago. You know what I mean? This is not from something 10 years ago. This just recently happened. So the fact that she did that, it does kind of put a question mark there. Yes, Summer may be not a good friend, but it kind of, sorry, Noelle, you kind of look shady on your part as well. Because to me, I wouldn't do it. For TV purposes, she definitely brought the drama on that. But yeah, you got to definitely look at that. And she did say that she wasn't trying to pursue him. So it's just like, Like, no, but and it bothered Summer. It clearly did, because she said it, I think, 3 times on the show back to back. She still pursued him. She still pursued him. So yeah, both of them at the end of the day, they're never gonna be friends. It's just not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to happen. So at that point, after that's done, and trust me, it was getting hot and steamy between them. You can tell they've been wanting to talk about this, especially Noelle, since the show was over. So at that point, someone asked the question, why is Alex considered an F-boy? And my thing is this: I think people have different definitions on what an F-boy is. But to me, an F-boy can also be a guy who is not clear on his intentions from the beginning, clear on what he likes and doesn't like, and is still constantly leaving women wondering what's going on, where they stand. And that seems to be the issue with Alex. A F-boy doesn't necessarily mean you sticking and moving all the time. It can also mean that you just always leave stuff up in the air for people to interpret how they want to interpret. You don't ever be straightforward. He does not give me vibes that he's straightforward. Have you guys seen him on the show be straightforward? The only time at one point he was straightforward is when Noelle, drunk as all hell, was like, I really like you, and you talking to this girl in front of my face. And he was like, I'm not interested. But here's the thing on this. He said, if I was an F-boy, I would have pursued Noelle, but I did the right thing. Sir, you did the right thing on camera. Okay. You did the right thing on camera. And the reality is, to me, the way that he was talking, he pretty much was implying that, yeah, I would have definitely pursued Noelle, but I would have really looked like an F-boy if I did it on camera. Now, they claim that they're just friends. I don't know about that. But hey, that's what they're claiming. But the reality is, just because, I don't know, everybody has their own definition, but for me, just because you are not pursuing every woman out there doesn't mean that you still don't have F-boy energy. But y'all let me know what y'all think in that situation. So they show Summer, and they show the picture that Summer took of Alex when he was visiting her in LA without him knowing. Now, I don't know what I said about that situation. And you guys, hit the like button on the way in. Please hit the like button. Welcome to the Chris Nicole channel. I don't know what I said back then. But when you really think about it, if a woman, so like, put it like this: if a man would have sat up there and took a picture of a woman without her knowing and sent it to his friends, I think that man would have automatically been seen as a creep, in my opinion. So when you really think about it in that way, taking a picture of him and sending it to other people to where it really became telephone, I can see how it could be a weird vibe and how it can turn someone off. I do. Now, I don't know what I said back then, because again, Alex wasn't my favorite person in the house, but I could see that, because if it was the other way around and a man did that to a woman, people would be calling him a creep. They would. Y'all know they would. So with that, I think at the end of the day, Summer seems to be that girl, the way that she was in the house and how she can kind of just be a little over the top. When Alex said that she was leaving those type of crazy girlfriend messages, I can believe it. Actually. I can't even say, no, I don't think you're telling the truth. I actually can't believe it. Hell, we saw her act a damn fool on this show. And if she had some liquor in her, I wouldn't be shocked if she left multiple constant messages on his voicemail. I'm just saying. Let me see. They messing around once the cameras are down. Right. That's, look, but they claim they not. Let it have been Nick, the situation would have been different. Exactly. I don't, at this point, and we're going to get into that, I don't think they will. And I don't even think Amir's coming back, because he got too many issues with people now on this show, but we'll get to that. So with that, that's the next topic. We get to Amir and his fatal attraction, Natalie. And Natalie doesn't seem to trust him. And that's what Andy said. She doesn't seem to trust you. And how Summer is touchy. And I'm like, here goes this word again about people being touchy. And so at the end of the day, look, I don't give a shit about Amir or Natalie. I hate the fact that her coward ass didn't show up at the reunion because I feel like they needed to hand her that energy as well. Don't just put it on Amir. I see why y'all putting it on Amir, but I would want to read her rights as well. But she seems to be hiding behind Amir. Okay, so at that point, they definitely handed his, they was like, F you, F your girlfriend, like they on some messy stuff. And I totally agree, but I feel like Natalie needs to be there. I hope they would have invited her, so then that way they could have cussed her ass out. But moving on. So then we find out that not only have they bought a home or they're closing on a home, which is dumb as hell. So Andy asked the most important questions. One, whose name is on the house? Amir says his name is on the house. He says, but her name will be on the title and the deed, but my name is on the house. Amir, you are a dumbass. You're a realtor. And you mean to tell me your name is the only name on the actual mortgage that you have to pay for, but her name is on the title and the deed? You are dumb as hell. You've only been with her for a year and a half. He claims that he has a ring, and Andy's threw more shade and said, did she tell you when to propose to her? And Amir was like, look, we're going to do this on our time. No, it's going to be done on her time. But sidebar, I didn't even remember when Natalie threw major shade to Amir and said what she makes in a month is what Amir makes in a year. I said, oh, that's shady as hell. I don't remember her saying that. And maybe because I just find her to be boring and insecure. You know what I'm saying? But I said, I'll be damned. Did she really just say that shit? They played it back. I said, damn. And you were still defending this girl. She don't respect you. Oh my gosh. She don't see you as a man. Like, what the hell is going on over here? You are not the only one who said that exchanging looks and winks. Oh no, somebody else said that. I was like, what in the world? Nat ain't even have to push out a baby. I'm not mad. Let me tell you something. I said, how you gonna be a realtor and you the only one whose name is on the house, which means that you are the one who's gonna be responsible for that mortgage. But if you sell that bad boy, she automatically gonna get a piece of the pie. You dumb piece of shit. Play on, play it. Hey, Nikki B, take notes. You got a point there. You got a point. But at the same time, it just really shows how stupid Amir is. And you know what's so crazy is that Amir apparently allegedly has said some very shady things about Black women. He said some very shady things allegedly about Black women. And it's like, you don't even realize when you're getting played. Okay? At least Jordan was nice enough to just let you know, look, I'm not interested. Natalie don't seem like she's interested, but she's still about to make a coin off of your dumb ass. Nat used this as a promo for her business, and Amir knows this. He's her employee now, so of course he wants to make a. Yeah, look, I remember when Natalie said that. Yeah, I remember. I was like, okay, I don't remember that, but again, I ignored her. Like, I just felt like it was just like, why is she here? Like, and she was just too involved, but hey, when they played that back, I was like, man, and when you got Andy saying, she kind of treating you like a bitch. That's pretty much what he was saying. Of course, he said emasculating, but pretty much like, he kind of treating you like, she treating you like a bitch. So at that point, of course, he keeps saying, like, look, I want a strong, successful woman. That's what I chose. I don't feel that, what I'm saying, is emasculating. Like, that's what I chose. That's the woman that I want. No, that's the only woman that would deal with you. That's what it is. You really wanted Jordan, but that's the only woman that will deal with you. And now you really need to question why she wanted to deal with you in the first place. Was it for the access and the resources of you being on this show, or does she really want you for you? Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so moving on. We get to Summer and her mood swings. And of course, she cries immediately after they do the playbacks because she completely embarrassed herself on national TV. And so at that point, Andy asks, like, okay, so now that you know she was going through something, Noelle, do you feel like you guys can rekindle or reconnect, mend the friendship? It's very obvious they really didn't have a friendship because even Summer slipped up and said that, I just met you. I have relationships with these people, but I just met you. So that tells me they met, they hit it off, and they said she would be a great addition on the show. They clearly really didn't have a friendship. It's obvious at this point. Which sidebar, did y'all hear playing it back when Andy asked Alex the question about how did him and Summer end? And when Summer interrupted, Alex called her Autumn. Did y'all hear that? Now, I don't know if he was trying to be shady because, of course, her name is Summer and she's acting like an autumn or a winter, like colder. I don't know if that was his way of shading or he really just called Summer another girl's name. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments because he sure did say Autumn. I said, that ain't her name. So are you throwing shade because she acting real cold, like the coldest winter ever, or you slipped up? Y'all let me know what y'all think. But moving on. So at that point, Alex says, can you go through things but still be nice, considerate, and respectful? And you absolutely can. People who are mature and know how to control their emotions and understand that what they're going through has nothing to do with the other parties that they're around. Yes, they know how to do that. Summer doesn't know how to do that, but at the same time, she said she didn't have the resources to understand that. To me, she was playing the victim, and I'll tell you why. Because I understand when people don't have the resources. I also understand when people don't feel they can trust people, especially if they are used to being, neglected, and people who were supposed to care for her weren't really there for her, so they always have to be there for themselves. I get it. But 1 minute she's playing victim saying she did not know how to, she didn't have the resources, she didn't know how to process it. But then at the same token, you're shading Noelle and you're shading Shanice. And we'll talk about that later. So it's like 1 minute you're claiming that you were hurting people because you were hurt and you're trying to be a better friend. But then as we see later on with Shanice, she was still throwing shade as if she was the best dressed. So I don't know about Summer. I still think she gives frenemy vibes. She's still someone I couldn't trust. Even with her going through what she was going through, she gives me vibes that you just can't trust her ass. Period. That's why I said frenemy. She gives me that. Let me see. Summer was that stone cold look when they play her package. Yeah, really. Exactly. Noelle honestly wasn't needed because she's just a pretty face to me. I liked Noelle on the show. I felt like she did bring a balance to the show. I liked Noelle on the show. I do hope they invite her back. I still want to know what happened to the other guy, the pretty boy, gray-eyed guy that was on last season. I want to know what happened to him. So you felt like Alex was being shady. Yeah, I was like, did he slip up and call her another girl's name? Or he was like, look, you cold heifer, autumn, winter girl. I was like, what is it? I think he said it to be shady. If he said it to be shady, he was preparing to call her that. He had that in the back of his mind to call her that. I was here for it. Summer used the name Autumn before in front of Alex at a hotel. He was throwing shade. Okay, got it. So he had that in the back of his mind. He was gonna do that regardless. He was preparing for that shade. He also was trying to tell her to keep up, get out of the past since summer is later than fall. He's basically like, heifer, move on. I believe Alex only because Summer said they were cool up until the day before season 2, but she was pissed on day 1 with Alex. I mean, look, I think both of them can have some truth. I just don't think Alex is that straightforward. I don't think he's that straightforward. I don't. And he also can easily give me vibes that once he has gotten that physical connection, that he can lose interest. He just gives you those vibes. You know, bring back Mariah. Oh Lord. Yes, the other queen other than Preston. He's a flight attendant. His schedule was probably busy. Why are you calling him a queen? He may not be a queen. He may not. There are definitely straight flight attendants. Come on now. See, Preston. Okay, so with that, I just don't trust Summer. So I'm gonna move on. But I don't trust her. I really don't. You want Phil back, Nikki B? Which, by the way, Nikki B, are you new? If you are, welcome. Bring back Mariah and Phil. I think Bria got the D from Phil before and is pissed that Mariah and Phil are smashing. That's interesting. That's interesting. She definitely seems territorial, that's for sure. So then Preston, we find out he going through drama still with his father's side of the family, and he said it's even gotten worse, saying that he's gotten calls from debt collectors and stuff like that. And I'm thinking like, I thought when the person passed, that debt goes with them. Like they're not responsible for that person's debt unless he was that type of trifling father who had stuff in his children's name. Because y'all knew you got trifling parents out there like that who will literally have they freaking kids' names on bills and everything else. So I'm hoping that's not the case. But thank God Preston is a lawyer, because I'd be damn if that happened. It's Phil from stop it. Chris girl, light skin was a bigger queen on Pray. Are you serious? Both of y'all seeing that? No, it doesn't. It transfers. How? How does it transfer? The debt don't end with the deceit. Hold up. Hold up. So you mean to tell me if someone got credit card debt, they can sit up there, not a wife, not a spouse, but they could reach out to your children trying to collect that debt? When my grandfather passed, my mother had to take care of the debt we didn't know he had. That's interesting. That is interesting. I have never been called, ever been called about asking about debt when it comes to any family members. That's interesting. And I pray to God I don't ever get that. Now I can understand the spouse, but I damn sure can't understand the children. You know what I mean? And in your situation, T, that's your grandfather. So that your mother is his child. I've never heard that. Oh no. Oh no, I have never. I thought it literally, but then again, maybe because the ones that I know had great life insurance. So maybe that's why. But I've never gotten a call saying, "Yeah, you the next of kin, so you need to pay up." Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That guy is okay, Jason. Yes, Jason. But child, they talking about Jason is a queen. I don't know. X, if someone leaves me a house and a car and I take legal ownership, any debt associated with comes that. Yeah, if you take it on, but I'm talking about like credit card debt, things like that, car notes and stuff like that. Like, oh no, honey, that would be freaking insane. And again, I have had multiple from grandparents and stuff pass. I've never gotten a call ever. Maybe somebody else got that call, but it sure as hell wasn't me. So moving on. So with that, Summer and Preston, Summer says that they're cool. Preston and Summer, but she does say that Jordan and her still have things to work on. Child, they both got things to also work on internally as well. So next thing you know, Preston gets called out. Are you new? Because I'm loving you already, my queen or king. He has that it factor. I am done. I am done. Whoo, child. Okay, so Preston gets called out by pretty much saying the truth about Bria, say calling her annoying. And we find out that Bria has blocked him, but it was before the Watch What Happens live. Apparently, Bria blocked him a couple days before that. And so, first of all, Bria, you are annoying. So I guess you don't like to hear the truth, okay? So see, I told my mother, God forbid she leave me with that. I'm just telling them I ain't got it. I There has to be some type of way to get out of that. Like it has to be, because that is like insane to me. That is insane to me. Like, but hey, like I said, maybe I'm just blessed in that area, and I'm typically pretty knowledgeable of that stuff. But even with my friends that I know, none of them have complained about debt that was left to them. So that's kind of interesting. Preston's slip is showing he's a meanie, just like. But hey, didn't I say that, Nikki B? I don't know if you've seen my stuff before, but I was saying how remember Preston, Summer, and Jordan, in the beginning of this season, they was just always talking about people. He's a mean guy too. I call him the mean crew. He definitely has those vibes about him, but she got mad that, I guess he also said something about how she would get prepared to try to be Miss America or Miss USA and prepare for like 2 hours, but doesn't quite make it, which that's shade. But at the same time, you guys, we're also on a TV show, and the confessionals is usually where people talk their shit. So I don't know if that was enough, especially what we heard, you know what I'm saying, after that. First of all, Bria, I don't put it past Bria. She seems like the type where she will block and unblock every week, depending on what mood she's in. But she said that she feels shaded and jaded at times. But Preston is like, damn, the filming part, when we're off camera, I'm there for you. And he gives an example of how when she got arrested in France, she actually called Preston. They cried on the phone. It was an emotional situation. And he got in touch with an international lawyer for her to make sure that she was okay. Okay, so he mentions that. And he was like, I was there for you more than Simon was. And she was like, what are you talking about? Simon's the one who bailed me out of prison. And so at that point, he was like, look, the stuff that I do off of the camera, it shows that I care for you. Like we have that sister brother relationship. You are annoying as hell, but it's not like I haven't been there for you. And I didn't even get a thank you. And she was like, what are you talking about? I did thank you. And he's like, sure. And I was like, damn, if she did not thank him in that situation, that deserves multiple thank yous. That deserves whatever you could possibly do. Let me take you out to dinner, like whatever the case may be, because I'm sure, and we just heard about Nicki Minaj's situation in Amsterdam. To get arrested in general is going to be probably a scary situation, but to get arrested in a country that you don't even belong to is even scarier, because at the end of the day what people assume about Americans in the first place. So that had to be a scary situation for him to start calling international attorneys. That was kudos. But again, I don't know about that situation. Let me see what you guys are saying. Preston knows he doesn't like Bria. He's fake on each interview he does. Ooh, Nikki B. Okay, so you like, nah, he fake as hell with that I love you. That's Bria. She blocked and cuts people off based on her mood. The rest of the cast agreed and weren't shocked when Preston brought up. Yeah, you can tell. You can tell she that type where you don't even know why she blocked you, but she blocked you because whatever mood she in. So those type of people, it's like, once you do that, just don't come back. Because like, if you that immature where you can't explain to me or express to me what's going on, and you just want to block and unblock or whatever, just stay gone, stay blocked. Nikki being arrested and filming is still Teeth, stop it. You in mean mode tonight. That crabby cancer is coming out. Preston told on himself. So he treats Bria shady on camera, but is nice in private. Sounds like a toxic ninja to me. Yeah, them pre-rolls now. I will have to say, T, because we have seen her on camera talking about that she high as I don't know what. So I don't know about them pre-rolls being security, but people need to understand that Amsterdam, while it seems to be very free from my understanding, it's not necessarily legal. So I just wouldn't even try that type of stuff in another country. Hell, you can't try that in other states out here. I like all of them except Bria, but Shanice seems like we could be friends and her mom love her. The others seem stuck up real bad. They so mad. Yeah, so but with that being said, what do you guys think about the situation with Preston and Bria? Do you think there's a genuine connection there? Do you think it's fake? And what do you think about him saying that he helped her out when she was in jail in France and how he felt like, he didn't even get a thank you from her? So at that point, they bring up the flamingo situation. And Bria said she spoke to Simon. They said she spoke to Simon about, not wearing the flamingo suit, saying that it was only for the pool, to not wear it and wear it at an appropriate time. So the fact that she had that conversation with him and he just did what he wanted to do, and she kept saying it was a black tie affair dedicated to Nick's line brother. Again, I don't know many black tie affairs where people start twerking. I just don't. Just because you dress up doesn't make it a black tie affair. Now, in all honesty, if she had that conversation with Simon and he still did what he wanted to do, based on what we're hearing, he probably did it for attention or whatever the case may be. But I would think by the time that was over, it wasn't like he came out with that flamingo suit when Nick was talking about his line brother. He came out with it based on what we saw on film. After they started twerking, taking shots after shots, they were loosening up. So I think in his mind, with the mix of his own liquor and him liking the attention of this show, he did that. Okay. But she said, I told him, and literally he still did what he wanted to do. It's a lack of communication and respect. Now, apparently some people on the cast feel like Simon is using Bria. And I'm like, that's interesting, because I would say that Bria may be using Simon because she's constantly mentioning that he's a multimillionaire. So if Simon is using Bria to get clout and to be on TV, I would say it's an even trade. It sounds like he's taking care of her and investing in her business. So I don't think she gives a shit as long as them checks keep coming in. Because let's be clear, would she deal with Simon if he didn't have that money? Do y'all really believe she would deal with Simon if she didn't have that money? She already said that man is not her soulmate. Okay. And they asked about the Tribeca man situation. She claims that the Tribeca guy is in the past. He laughed about it. And I think that's exactly what she said. The Tribeca guy is in the past and he laughed about it. If you say he laughed about it, that means you're still in contact with him. Bria, you ain't slick. You got him. If Simon act up, you going to Tribeca. That's the way it sounds like to me, in my opinion. So then, okay, let me see what you guys are saying. Preston needs to give Elvis his costume back. You do need to act right in other countries. Absolutely correct. The same event she gave Nick a hard time about cleaning up. Right. Preston looks ridiculous. All they need to have that same combo with Amir, right? Simon went full white boy and Bria was embarrassed. Who cares? I feel like Simon always acts like that. He always acts like that. I feel like he truly gets wasted like that, and you don't know what he's going to do. I think that's just what it is. None of them are serving at all. You talking about as far as outfits. I like Noel's look. I liked Bria's look. And Nick. Those two were like the top three for me. They were the top three for me. So then we get to Jasmine. Okay. We get to Jasmine about the disconnect with the group. And Jasmine mentions, yes, Tribeca is backup D. You are absolutely correct. Backup D and backup ATM, backup bank accounts. So Jasmine, they mentioned Jasmine about her having a disconnect with the group. And Jasmine says she's pissed at what Jordan said about thinking that this may be Silas' first pregnancy, because she kind of said this is Jasmine's first pregnancy. and Silas, so she's like, well, I'm thinking or hoping that's his first pregnancy. What did you guys think about that? Do you guys think it was intentional? It was intentional to shade Jasmine? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that's part of Jordan's personality, but in reality, would she know if that was Silas' first pregnancy? She don't know what Silas did before that. The only reason why I feel like maybe Jasmine got pissed is because Jasmine told her something in confidence. What y'all think? Maybe Jasmine told her something in confidence, and when she saw that in the confessional, she felt like that was a violation. Because how would she know if that was Silas' first pregnancy? You know what I'm saying? You just don't know. You don't know the man. You know what I'm saying? So, but Jasmine didn't like that. So at the end of the day, Andy says, well, who missed Silas being in the house this summer? Baby, I think I only saw 3 hands. Jasmine, Shanice, and Amir, maybe Alex. I think Alex kind of put his hand up at the end. Preston did not raise his hand. Mind you, Preston is Silas' line brother, his LB. Okay. So apparently, when Andy says, well, Preston, why didn't you raise your hand? He said they don't have a relationship right now. Something they have to talk about, but they don't have a relationship. And I'm like, Andy, see, this is when you need someone to culturally understand what the hell is going on and understand what I just said. That is his line brother. Okay. People who know the Greek world, that is his line brother. And based on what we saw when they showed pictures of their line, I think it was only 3 or 4 of them. So the fact that they're not talking, and the way Jasmine was looking at him when Preston was trying to explain it, there was something there. And Andy, damn it, you needed to pry. You needed to be nosy as hell and say, tell us something. What is going on? That's your line brother. Why wouldn't you be talking to him? And you're saying you have no relationship with him? Baby, I need to know. Just that alone, I need a season 3. Just to see what the hell is going on. He said they have no relationship. No relationship. That's crazy, especially for it to be a small line. All y'all got. I want to know, but moving on. So then they mentioned the Jamaica trip. And we find out that, of course, when we saw on the show, Jasmine was like, why the hell wasn't I invited to Jamaica? Well, we find out that Shanice was the first one that said no to Jasmine coming. Then it was Jordan. And so she was looking at Shanice. She understood the Jordan situation, but she was looking at Shanice like, what have I done to you? And Shanice was like, well, you wasn't really getting along with anyone at that time. She was like, my whole thing is I just didn't want the drama. I didn't want the awkwardness. I did not want the drama. Nothing personal, like you've done anything to me, but because there was already tension, I just didn't want you there. So then Jasmine turns to Preston. And this is when her showing she was the head honcho, in my opinion, came out, because she turns to Preston and says, I want to know your take on this because you met them because of me. And I was like, oh, here we go. Here we go. So I guess right now what you're trying to say is I created this show. I made this show. I'm the reason why y'all on this show. Y'all met because I brought y'all on this show. And then you don't want to show me no loyalty. That's the way I took it. That's the way that I heard it. Because even when she said that, Preston was like, so what does that mean? Relationships can change. Like, what does that mean? And even Andy says, so when does his friendships become his friendships? And it's not like you're trying to be the mother in this situation. And Jasmine was like, look, Preston is a grown man, but I see him as always being the mutual party in the situation. And he didn't even try to. I think she wanted him to mediate the situation. And then she mentions that you was there at my wedding, and at least, the very least, you could have said, what's going on with you and the girls? He said, I already knew you and the girls weren't getting along. So why would I sit up there and revisit that? I think she wanted him to mediate the situation and bring them back together. That is not Preston's job. And if there's clearly something going on with Silas and him, and maybe even has to do with you in some kind of way, I could see why Preston would stay out of it. But at the same time, again, all of them, and I thought Preston was the most mature one out of the group. All of them seem to have this way about them that it's very passive aggressive, and they don't like to get down to the root cause of the issues. They just don't. Because I just don't understand how Preston ain't even talking to his line brother. But I will say, in my opinion, Jasmine was showing her ass, trying to let everyone know at that moment, you guys are here because of me. So respect it. That to me is what she gave. But y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Then they talk about Jordan and Jasmine relationship. And to me, it will never be the same. I don't care what they say. I think at the end of the day, all of them on that cast feel like she acts different when Silas is around. And while I respect what she said about how, she's evolving and sometimes people can't accept those changes or whatever the case may be, I get it. We all should evolve, but don't just evolve when you're around your man. Because evolving means that you're changing in general, not just around your man, but around everyone. They see a difference whether he's there or not. When he's there and you feel like you can't have a voice, or you being Susie Homemaker, or you're acting like, you can't really hang with your friends a certain way, whatever the case may be. But when he's not there, you're willing to do that. That tells me it's not evolving. You're changing up to front when it comes to your man. So that's my whole thing. But she claims she's evolving, and maybe Jordan just can't handle that. But Jordan kind of gives her nod like, okay, look, I guess. And the thing that Jasmine said, I should be able to come to you and check you on situations just like you come to me and check me on situations. I don't think Jordan cares enough to check you on anything anymore. She seems checked out, but she doesn't care enough to check you anymore. That to me is what is given off. Or maybe she just could nod her head enough because of that freaking saran wrap fruit roll-ups that she had around her neck. Maybe that was the reason, but she doesn't seem involved or interested in that relationship anymore. Jasmine and Silas. There's definitely something there. It was Silas Shay. I wonder if Phyllis from Tribeca. Jasmine and Silas were hell on wheels last season. Jasmine is a fake. Jordan is a witch, and Preston is a Jordan's hitchman. Well, damn. Oh my gosh. Pete, the two who were seated next to Andy. I talked about that. I already talked about that. It was Jasmine, who's the creator of the show, and Bria. And we know why Bria was there. Who's your fave? Since when do you have a fave on the show? Who's your fave? You talking about Bria? Look, I don't have a fave on the show. Everybody at this point can get it. Because I thought Preston was my fave on the show, but he showed his ass a little bit this season also. So we get to the next situation, y'all. And they're talking about his handsy, touchy situation. Jordan clears the air and says her thing about him being handsy or touchy is merely the fact that for him to be in a relationship is too much. Nick claims that, he plays it back and he didn't like the way he was acting as far as his anger is concerned. And to me, his anger towards Bria, Noelle, and Shanice, he still was a gentleman in that anger. As far as I see it, he didn't really take it that far. He was just saying it was effed up and he was frustrated. He still was a gentleman in that moment, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, what I still don't like is they're talking about the whole looking and acting like, I don't know, you guys. Let me ask you this. Your man, committed relationship, okay? Would you have an issue with your man going to the strip club? Would you have an issue with your man going to a strip club? You're in a committed relationship. Because to me, this is what I'm getting from this situation. Because Amir's punk ass chiming in saying that when, all of the TNA was out, how Amir will look the other way, but Nick seemed to be enjoying himself. Well, that's what men do at the strip club all the time. They tip the girls. They look at the girls. They may even smile at the girls when they, popping that thing. Does that mean that they're acting on it? Or are they simply seeing it as entertainment and they move on? Y'all really let me know what y'all think about that situation, because to me, if he's not acting on it and you have all of this TNA in his face and he looks, I I don't know if I'm going to spaz out about that unless there was something else going on that wasn't shared as far as editing is concerned that made it inappropriate. But as far as I see it, that's just like a man going to the strip club. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times when guys hang out with they friends, you don't know where they going. They been going to the strip club, going to the bar. You don't know. You don't know. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Cause I'm like, so what he looking? First of all, it's all up in his face. As long as he is not acting on it, who cares? But that's just me. So then the girls talk about the whole Natalie situation. And, and Bria, of course, starts talking. And Nick said, but Bria, you asked me to take a nap with you. And I said, exactly. We was talking about that. You talking about all of this stuff about how he would really take a step forward and act on things. But you also sat up there and said, would you give me comfort, or whatever she called that nonsense? To me, that could have been considered flirting. And he was like, you asked me to take a nap with you. And she was like, well, I did, but I wouldn't trip over it. And I'm just like, just get the hell out of here, Bria. Like, it is what it is. But then we find out, and this hurt me. We find out that him and Tasia are not together. And I feel like, in my opinion, some of them girls had in their eyes like, I knew it, or even kind of smirked at the situation. I don't blame Tasia because it started to get a little messy. She's a beautiful girl. And in my opinion, she didn't deserve that at all. Not just the first season when he didn't claim her at all when he first got there. But then now you have this season again. I could see why she could just be like, you know what, let's just end this. But I hate that happened to her. She seemed like a beautiful, genuine girl. And now they're not together. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, I wish Tasia the best of luck. I wish Nick the best of luck. But to a certain extent, we knew Nick wasn't ready for marriage. We damn sure knew that because he was skipping around that when they asked him that. But I don't know. I just feel bad for Tasia because I'm sure, and Andy said was part of how did she feel embarrassed on, TV? And he said, yeah, that was kind of the part of the conversation, but that wasn't the straw that broke the camel's back. I feel bad for her. So hopefully Tasia is doing well because I'm sure that had to be an issue for her. So then we get to that freaking scallywag Natalie being the bone collector in that situation with Nick. And Amir is still trying to, of course, protect that freaking thing of his. And Noelle was like, you allowed us to be pretty much assassinated to protect your messy controller. Like, you allowed us to sit up there and get cussed out, get whatever the case may be, while she sat quiet. Because he even said in a confessional, oh my gosh, I'm glad he's not mad at my woman because he couldn't talk to my woman that way, when she was the one who started the shit. She started it all. So, of course, he made excuse after excuse. And Nick even said that his relationship with Amir is strained now. Like, I guess they went to a basketball game, but they definitely are not the same. And so Andy says, does Natalie want to come back on a show? And he was like, I mean, yeah, she want to come back on a show. She doesn't like the way it ended and she wants people to give her a second chance. No, she wants to come back on the show so she could sit up there and still be a bone collector and be a messy biatch. Point blank period. Oh, and to promote herself. Yeah, and to make you look like a fool. That's the only reason why she coming back on the show. She ain't trying to man nothing with them girls. Keep that heifer in Austin, Texas. Keep her there. And even Nick said, okay, well, look, how about this? If she wants a second chance, get to know people versus just talking about them. Preach. 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 Because if you really wanted to get to know people, you would have sat there and got to know them. You wouldn't have acted like you were just standoffish, like you didn't want to get to know them. And the only time you wanted to talk to them is when you wanted to stir the pot. Get the hell up out of here. Get the hell up out of here. So what are you guys saying? I'm sorry, you guys. When I be talking, I got to get to the comments. Jordan looks ridiculous from the shake and go wig to the plaid. Yeah, I really need her to do something with them wigs. And I'm glad she did bring alopecia awareness to the show, but baby, I got a friend who got alopecia. She slays her wigs, slays them. So I don't know. And she's a model. Jordan's a model. You don't know people in New York who can slay a wig? I need for her to get it together. Nick didn't do anything wrong by looking at Shanice's thought he had. That's what I was just like, I'm confused on him looking. See, the thing is, though, Amir doesn't look because clearly we know who controls him in that relationship. I don't see anything wrong with a man, looking as long as he doesn't act on it. According to Alex, Summer is touchy to the point that he had to have a conversation about it with his girl. So I don't see why Nick being touchy is a big deal, right? But here's the problem, though. You talking about Amir. You talking about Amir, not Alex. The version of what he said, what Summer does is like touching his hand, touching his wrist, touching his shoulder. To me, those aren't big deals in my opinion, but you have a point. With what she did, what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? What's the difference? The difference is when you're dealing with people who are insecure as hell. Some may not see it as a big deal. There are people who, when they talk to people, they touch their shoulder, they touch their hand or whatever. But when you insecure and you're jealous in a situation, because we do remember Natalie, when Amir saw a girl walk by thinking that it was Jordan, she flipped out over the fact that he said, "Is that Jordan?" So there's some insecurities there. She just want to control them. Not my good man, Savannah. So in other words, you saying your man can't go to a strip club? So he can't go to a strip club. You think that going to a strip club means, or him looking means that he'll act on it? Tasia carries herself with class. She exuded confidence. She did. She did. Class, confidence, sure of herself. And to me, in my opinion, I don't know about y'all, but because she did that, and you got a lot of insecure girls in that bunch who got their own internal issues, I think low key they didn't like that about Tasia. They didn't like that about Tasia. They didn't like the fact that they could shake Tasia, because they tried to do that last season and they wanted Tasia to act a fool and cuss him out on camera and all of that stuff. She smiled at him, gave him a look, held herself with class, and still was a unit with him just like she was this season. They hated that Tasia, they could not shake her. I truly think that's what it was. Sleep support. And I think low key, some of them are happy that he is now not with Tasia. That's just my gut feeling. Yes, it was. She called it sleep support. I also believe Bria and Shanice wants to sleep with Nick. It wasn't just the comfort support, but asking him to take her out to eat. And she was the first to tell Tasia they didn't know about. Exactly, Miss Irreplaceable. Which, if you are new, hello, hello, hello. Please hit the like button, like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, I think they didn't like the fact that Tasia carried herself with class and confidence. You see, she didn't let nothing move her. Even when Natalie was trying to be messy with her, she was like, "Oh no, I'm about to leave, but thank you though." That's class. That's a woman who's like, "You not about to get me out of." You know what I'm saying? You're not about to get me out of my character. Absolutely not. Thank you. You have a great day. Thank you for your services. That's the way she carried herself. And even if she had a problem with her man, they wasn't about to hear about it. That's class. You know, nothing wrong looking at the village. Oh, you a mess. Someone needs to say something to Shanice about being, yes. Okay, yeah, and let's get on that, because that was really the last thing they talked about. They talked about Summer saying that Shanice can't dress, and she doubles down on it. See, this is what I'm saying. It's hard to feel bad for Summer when at first chance she's real quick to still shade people. So, and it's the way that she goes about it, because she was like, yeah, I don't think she can dress. And Shanice was like, but you asked me for a sweater. And Summer's like, yeah, because I know how to pair it. You don't. Summer, I'm really trying to figure out who told you were fashion forward. I'm really just trying to figure out who told you were fashion forward. When I see you in any moment in this show, I've never seen fashion forward. I've seen that with Bria. I've seen that with Noelle, but I damn sure haven't seen it with you. So I don't know why, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is why I said frenemy vibes. I don't care what she going through. She just comes off like that nice, nasty person that you can never trust, period. And will tell your business when she get pissed off. Okay? That's just the way she comes off. So then at that point, someone gives a question or said, Andy, I think Andy or someone from production or someone from the cast asks this question and says, Shanice, you always talking about how you having freaky tales, you know what I'm saying, with men with money and stuff, but you not get anything from it. Like, why even bother? And Shanice is like, I don't date men for money. And I'm like, well, it's clear you're not with them to be in a relationship. And if you're not with them for the money, you're only in it for the freaky tales. Like, what is the point? If that's the case, if you're willing to say these are the type of men you pull, then what are you getting out of that relationship? Because it doesn't seem like you're even interested in something's there with Shanice. She definitely is there, but not there. There's something there where she probably feels like maybe she doesn't trust men and she just, is there for the freaky tales and she wants to move on. Maybe has a lot to do with that situation, that past situation where that guy was calling her a stalker. I don't know. But I mean, it's one thing if she said, I don't date men because of money. I really want companionship. I want a relationship. But that person had a point because she made sure that look, these are the type of men that I pull. So if you pull those men, I guess to a certain extent, hell, get your rent paid off of it, I suppose. Like, if you're not trying to be in a relationship with them, if it's not for love. Let me see what you're saying. Someone needs to say something to Shani. Oh yeah, I already read that. And she knew it was a problem when she got around Bria and Jasmine, man. So why would she think it's okay for others? Yeah, you got a point there, Miss Irreplaceable. You have a point. Shanice was best dressed to me tonight while Summer looked a mess and her hair was burnt out. Yeah, I think Summer was trying to give, I don't know if you heard me. I think you came in late. I didn't know if she was trying to do a vintage Donna Summer look, playing on words, Summer and Donna Summer. Because to me, I feel like she was trying to do like a 70s thing. It didn't land well, but I feel like she feels like because maybe she has on a cute dress, that's all she needs. But to me, if you're really fashion forward, the whole look is put together, and she's never given me that. You are a dumb hoe, in the words of Kenya Moore. Shanice is a fool. She was raised by a white mama. Oh, Teef, stop. Stop. Stop it. Putting all that miles on the poon for. Hey, I think there's something there. She does not trust men. And maybe she feels like not being attached in any way is how she can control her emotions or can control the situation. I don't know. But with that being said, you guys, after that, the reunion was over. Do you feel like the reunion was rushed? I feel like the reunion was rushed. They could have did a better job. Maybe had a part two, or maybe just did it an hour and a half long. I feel like it was rushed. I really do. And I feel like they should have brought people who were on the show this season, like Natalie, Mariah, and them. They should have been invited to the reunion. In my opinion, they should have just a little small segment or whatever the case may be, but I feel like it was rushed. I really do. There were so many things that, I mean, I guess they kind of touched on everything. I'm trying to think if there was anything that he left. Well, yeah, what the hell happened to Jason? I would have known, like, what happened to Jason? We already know what happened to Phil and Mariah, but how do you have someone on the first season and then they completely disappear? The other one who disappeared, Silas, we knew what happened to him. So I would like to know what happened when it came to Jason. And I also, in my opinion, feel like it could get really juicy if we saw behind the scenes footage that we did not see on the show. Because to me, if there's something there behind the scenes that we didn't see, that would probably answer a lot of questions that we had. Because what I saw from Nick did not warrant how they came at Nick about this touchy handsy situation. But if there was something behind the scenes, I would have wanted to see that. Like real talk. But if you didn't show us, to me, what they showed, they did him dirty. They did. But as far as I said, yeah, I don't think, did you guys think they missed anything? Anything they missed at all that y'all wanted to discuss? Because I think they covered everything, honestly. And I think there's going to be a season 3. There's definitely going to be a season 3. And I think they need to shake it up a little bit. I definitely would want Noelle back. I don't know if I want Summer back, y'all, if I can be honest. I know they're gonna invite Bria back just because of all of the drama she brings. I'm tired of her ass though. But in the fact that, she really turned me off with that whole Mariah situation. She made it seem like Mariah, didn't apologize or anything like that. And we found out Mariah had been reaching out to her. So Bria's just extra to be extra. And I think she's putting on for the cameras at this point, so it doesn't come off genuine. There are a couple people that they could shake up. Amir, I do not want to see his ass. And honestly, what else does Alex bring to the table? He doesn't get into any controversy besides his passive aggressive stuff when they call him out on it. I don't know what would be the reason for him to still be on the show, if I can be honest. I feel like Alex can go. Amir can go. You said it was a cute. Yeah, it was. It definitely got heated in certain moments. And it wasn't a lot of crying, only Summer. I didn't like it at the club. I didn't like it at the clubhouse. The lighting was bad for me. It did seem a little, yeah. But again, I don't necessarily know if the reunion was always planned or at the last minute they decided to do a reunion. But interesting enough, one thing that he did say, Andy said, was, would you want to come back? He said this is summer. He said, would you want to come back and do the summer again with these people? Like, would you want to do the summer, like a summer vacation again with this cast? That kind of threw me off guard because that let me know. And she said maybe in smaller segments. So that made me wonder, is she coming back, or are you implying that maybe the show is not coming back? Because he asked Summer that, would you want to vacation with all of them again? And she said maybe in smaller segments. So maybe she's not coming back. Maybe she's not. Alex, Amir, and Jordan can go. Yeah, I could see that. As much as I can't stand Bria and all of her draining bullshit, she's entertainment for the show. Now, interesting enough, I always hear that people say, I haven't heard anyone say Team Bria all day, every day. A lot of people say she's draining and annoying as hell, but when she acts a fool or her man acts a fool, people have their eyes on the show. Bring back Silas, Mariah, Phil, and 2 single men and a lesbian. How you know we ain't got no lesbian already on the show? Because if I could be honest, when Shanice first came in, I didn't know. I really didn't know. But 2 single men and a lesbian. So you want Silas back. Ugh. Child. Mariah back, Phil back. I don't know about Phil. But then again, we didn't really get a chance. We didn't get a chance to know what Phil could bring to the show because he acted a fool within the first couple of hours. 2 single men. They do need more single men. They do. So then that way, Noelle and Shanice has options. You know what I mean? Allegedly. You really think that? Allegedly. Shanice and the potential lesbian would be good fun. Look, at this point, you never know. You never know. Because the girls are thirsty. Child, I'm telling you. And what did you guys think? Do you guys think that the girls were kind of hating on Tasia a little bit? Did y'all feel like they purposely wanted to cause drama and wanted Tasia to get out of character? How do y'all feel about that? Because I'm feeling that. I am feeling that is possibly the case. That's why I said I feel bad for Tasia, because Tasia became like a victim in this situation, and it was so uncalled for. Like, she was always the point of drama, even with her just wanting to see her man. Mariah and Phil are sleeping together, and Bria wants that man equals good drama. Oh, you may got a point, Nikki B. You may have a point. You may have a point. Miss Irreplaceable said, look, half of the cast, more than half of the cast can go. Amir can go, Shanice can go, Bria can go, Jordan and Summer. That is half of the cast. That is 60% of the cast. She like, all of them can go. They want Nick. Seems that way, huh? As much as they call him a Urkel and a dork and corny and all of that stuff, I would not be shocked if Nick definitely makes a lot of money. I would not be shocked. He probably does. I mean, he said he has his own tailor and everything else. I would not be shocked if he makes a lot of money. And he truly, as dorky as he is, he does seem like the type to spoil his woman. He definitely gives me those types too. I don't think he's ready to settle down necessarily, but I'm hoping, because I truly think he genuinely liked Tasia and he thought Tasia was the one. Maybe he needs to get everything out of his system, and I really hope that him and Tasia can get back together maybe a couple years from now. This is a good show, but most of the cast are unlikable. Yeah, Nikki, I think that's what it is too, and all of the crying and no one being, held accountable or really want to apologize for the things that they do. That annoys me. Nick was sexy on this reunion. He carries himself well, which is attractive. He looks fly on this reunion. Now, the other times when he be having on them Daisy Dukes and them crop tops, them booty shorts, or he be having on them high water pants and stuff like that, and them high waist pants, I don't see it for him. But when I saw him tonight, I was like, oh, okay. All right, Nick. You dressed to the nines. Like, I'm feeling this look. If you are gonna rock pink, I'm not mad at it. Rock that pink like that. That's sexy. It is. I believe they have a problem with any female that they don't know. Yeah, that's the childish way to do it, huh? Instead of getting to know someone. But you know what's interesting though? You know what's interesting? Now that you say that, they didn't necessarily have that vibe with Natalie. Now, I know Jordan may have mentioned something about how Natalie may have been, I guess, kind of iffy with her because of Amir, but she was like, I didn't want Amir wanted me. But they still welcomed her and didn't try to bring drama into her and Amir's relationship. But they damn sure did that consistently when it came to Nick and Tasia. Interesting, right? Natalie always was stirring up the pot and trying to cause something that didn't seem to be there. But like literally before Tasia could even really sit down last season, Bria was like, yeah, we didn't even know about you. And then this season, they're like, that man of hers, I want to know what she think about that man because he want to get wild. What she think about it? It was constantly an issue. It really was. I feel bad for Tasia. I like Tasia. I would have loved to seen Tasia on the show full time. I would have loved to see, because I feel like the way she looks, she could read them heifers down, but in a very classy way to check them. She could. I think she could. She had it in her. But anywho, you guys, thank you so much for watching the reunion. So at this point, I just have a feeling there's going to be a season 3. I don't know if they made an announcement yet, but at this point, there's too many open-ended, like what's going on with Silas and Preston, Jasmine and the Jordan situation, Amir, if he comes back, like how are they going to treat him at this point? Because Nick and Amir are not really cool at this point. So there are a lot of things now that have question marks. And of course, the only way we can get those answered would be another season. I just hope we don't have as many draining, all cried out type of BS that we had this year. Seems like almost every episode there was an argument and there was crying. So I am hoping that it's more balanced next season. And, we can get down to the bottom of some things as far as why people aren't talking to each other, or Jordan can finally be honest about her real issues in her and with Jasmine. And, Nick can finally sit up there and maybe get loose, I suppose, because that's what they wanted in the first place. They wanted to see single Nick. Well, now you got it. So let's see how Nick approaches next season and see if he decides to actually maybe talk to one of the girls. I don't know though. I feel like honestly, none of those girls are really his type. He just seems like someone who's naturally flirtatious, but I don't know. I don't know. Would Nick pursue any of those girls in the house, y'all? Maybe Noelle. Maybe that, yeah, maybe Noelle. Maybe it will be a thing between Nick and Alex trying to get with Noelle. Maybe that would be the case. But with that being said, you guys, please continue the conversation in the comments section. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you on my next video. Toodles.